back again.
I feel like this is
Like the hair.
Thank you.
Very nice.
This is my news girl hair.
Very nice. Yeah, I really feel like we need to start like with the fucking housekeeping thing about like talking about that fucking Iran 15,000 people sentenced to death bullshit last week, because it turned out to be totally not true. And you know, like, and this is what I'm always talking about, how you can never trust these motherfuckers because they have an agenda and they're always putting out fucking stories. And like I said, that story, that 15,000 like sentenced to death, that went out. And when the thing came back, you heard 5, I heard 2. Anyway, even if we say 10,
Still
right?
pretty off.
It's still pretty off. People actually sentenced to death. That didn't make the wave, that didn't make the rounds as much as the 15,000 made the rounds. And there's still loads of people who believe that the 15,000 were sentenced to death.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of shit that, you know, it puts us in a position where we're like ready to go to fucking war against Iran. Which
Totally, wow.
Which would be the craziest fucking thing, apart from being ready to go to war with Russia, which we also are, and being ready to go to war with China, which we also are. It's insane. And it's insane, and all the fucking shit that we hear in the news is a fucking propaganda outlet for the military-industrial complex.
True. You got to stay sick to buy medication like that. You know
That's
what I mean?
it.
You got to buy that pill.
That's
so
it.
This
That's
is gonna
it.
be the
So
way.
yeah. So, and I apologize because I fucking bought into it too. I wasn't just fucking.
I hardcore bought into it.
Yeah. And I'm not.
I was super sad.
Yeah. So anyway,
I was super sad. Anyways, so that sucks. Well, whatever. They gaffled me.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're good. They've been doing it for years, hon. Honestly.
I still don't think the 3 should go.
No, absolutely not.
It's fucking stupid. The whole
No,
thing.
absolutely not. The
And
whole thing is
first
fucking
one-
ridiculous. The whole fucking thing is ridiculous. But I mean, again, I'll say it again.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right. Saudi Arabia days.
what are we doing, like, in Qatar right now? Like, they've been told, all the fucking football players have been told they can't wear their rainbow fucking pride fucking armbands or they're going to get fined by FIFA.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck, man?
You know what's so funny? I can't believe they let Budweiser know like 2 or 3 days before you're not selling.
You're not selling any beer. Yeah.
I was kind of.
And you know what? I think they did that because they were getting so much blowback from like people on the left were going, what the fuck are you guys doing? You know, you realize that like at least 6,500 people that we know of died building all this bullshit infrastructure that you guys put up. And you have people like virtually slaves. They were slaves.
No, they are slaves.
They are slaves. And so people started making fucking noise about that. So then they did the beer thing. Like, well, there's no beer. And that made huge headlines about how unfair that was. And, you know, the people were like, you know, you told us 3 days before, we've already booked our tickets, and now,
No, I can't get drunk.
Yeah, I mean,
everything.
Like,
let's see how much people enjoy fucking football without liquor.
Without beer. I mean, usually they don't serve beer in the stadiums anyway.
Yeah, but you want to get drunk watching.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember the last, well, I suppose in the Premier League they used to, like, when I went to the Arsenal matches the last few times I went. Now, I hadn't been to one since like 2013. But like, you know, you'd go in and you could drink inside. You couldn't drink out in the stadium.
Yeah,
but you could
go
drink
in the thing.
Yeah, you would go into like at halftime, you could get a pint and shit like that. Yeah,
they want to drink.
No, of course they do. It's the World Cup. They want to get drunk and
They want to get drunk
and sing.
And I mean,
Anyway.
it's funny because like, how much did they pay? They paid like apparently they paid like, you know, like David Beckham.
I don't
who's
know.
The other couple other people, millions. But he's going on a. It's great for Qatar because they can afford.
Yeah.
This publicity, it's good publicity.
This is like woke washing them. This is getting them all like they're coming up to.
They're talking about souks and spices
it's just fucking ridiculous.
How great is like really? We think about it. Why would you be watching? Why would you be playing football in a place that's like fucking 52, like almost 60 fucking degrees?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
why?
That's where we are with that. So like and then there's like the other sort of like total fucking hypocrisy that we're going on about like Russia is a dictatorship and it's this and it's that, it's so bad, and yet we're over here kissing these motherfuckers' asses.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think
you know what I mean.
I think the United States government is going after, like they're trying to suggest a pardon for MBS Mohammed bin.
They've already done that. They've given it immunity
officially.
Immunity from prosecution.
Yeah, basically saying.
Yep.
He did it, or probably did it, or is probably some way responsible for it, but because of the precedence
because he's now the prime minister. So he's the prime minister. This is their justification for that. Is that because he's the prime minister, he's an acting head of state, and therefore he's immune from prosecution.
But like it's murder.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
I mean, that's like
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, brutally murdered somebody, chopped him up into pieces while his fiancée was waiting outside. in a foreign country.
Yep.
That's cool. And he was a fucking American resident.
Yeah, but, I mean, yeah. I mean, and he wasn't even like. You know,
he wasn't that against them.
No, he wasn't. Like I said, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
this.
Like he wasn't exactly like he just backed the wrong pony. Like you know, there's like all these factions. It's a family of cousins, and they're all like there's all this like palace intrigue that would like make the fucking make the House of Windsor.
You're not a writer from Saudi Arabia because you're trying to fight the truth.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah,
well,
I mean,
I don't feel like that, but you know what I mean.
But I mean, so like. I find the whole like the hypocrisy is fucking ridiculous, and I get accused. People accuse you of like whataboutism, but like pointing out hypocrisy is not whataboutism.
Well, I mean, it depends. It's like if
if it is, what's wrong with that?
Well, whataboutism. What do you mean? Yeah, there is something wrong with that.
Well, I mean, I'm not justifying anything on the back of the what about.
Well, I find that whataboutism is to justify the bad behavior of one side.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm certainly not.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I consider whataboutism. If you're like, well, of course I murdered this person because what about them? No.
Yeah. No, that's not where I'm coming from with this. I'm coming from like,
look at everybody.
Look, how dare you fucking tell me that this guy is fucking terrible and we need to fucking spend like $60 billion of money when we can't afford to fucking give people clean water to drink in fucking Jackson, Mississippi.
I think you're more like selective demonization using and making me culpable by extension because I'm going to pay with my tax dollars for you to murder people.
Exactly. And that's like, if that's what about is, well then what about me up? Because I think that's fucking bullshit. It's hypocrisy. It's just pure and utter fucking hypocrisy. And it's not even like, I mean, like having the World Cup in Qatar. We were in Qatar before we were
rudely interrupted.
Yeah, rudely interrupted with Liberty. So I just find the whole thing just hypocrisy is just fucking it's like right in your face now. It's not even they don't even give a shit anymore. They're not even trying to like lie and make shit up anymore. It's just like, look, that's it. Shut the fuck up. Watch the fucking World Cup. You're not going to drink a beer while you're there, but watch the World Cup and shut the fuck up.
That's the problem about making like your movement so cheap that they get co-opted by corporations and put a flag on your thing. Because all of a sudden it's like, I'm down for gay rights. No, I'm not. Take the flag.
So the whole controversy now is about the gay rights thing, and it's not about the fucking, it's not about the fucking, and I'm going to go 10,000, because they say 6,500, but I say 10,000 people fucking died.
You're going to go, okay.
I'm going for it. Fuck that shit, because it's probably 10,000. Because in the article I read that like the 6,500 are people they're from certain countries like Pakistan and
Bangladesh.
They're from like sort of Muslim, other sort of like recognized as Islamic countries, right? But that doesn't count Kenya, and it doesn't count the Philippines, and it doesn't count like all these other countries, and all the sort of like the African along the East African coast, like Tanzania, Kenya.
And they're indebted.
And then they make them they have to take out a loan to go and get the job.
Why?
Because they're slaves. Anyway.
It's just.
So the controversy now gets to be about like gay and lesbian rights. Because that's an easy one because it's like really acceptable now. But if we get into like a whole economic class thing about how they're using fucking slavery.
Oh, then we're talking about people.
Then we're talking about people, we're talking about class, we're talking about having to sort of like look at what they have there in Qatar and say, look, that means that if we admit that they've done this, we can't go there anymore. We can't do any shit in this place anymore because they're all fucking evil.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
There's oil.
So yeah, but there's oil and
It's like a Disney song, tale is all this time.
Anyway.
You know what I mean?
So that's where we are with that.
Yeah. That's so shitty. And because you're right. It's not just India, Pakistan. They were like they're mostly Bangladeshi, and like they're from Philippines, or some people from. There isn't many Chinese, but I was looking at all the places.
Yeah, they are from like sort of like all the sort of Islamic countries. It's easier for them to do that thing. But then there are a whole bunch of countries that don't go on the list of that don't even count like less than all these other people. It's fucking horrible the way they do that shit over there.
I think there's definitely less than 500,000 Qataris.
Oh, I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure I'll stick it up. I'll go look it up and I'll stick it up on there. But I'm sure
there's not a lot of actual like Qatari people.
No,
the rest are like.
And there's none of them doing any of that work.
No.
Yeah, there's none of them doing any of that work.
I mean, like, fuck it. I don't have anything against any specific person or any like. I'm not mad at Qataris, but I mean like their administration and then all of us.
Yeah.
Because it's like true. You just slap on a David Beckham as your world fucking ambassador now. They paid him a lot.
I know. Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? Remember they got all upset with all the golfers because they went to that Saudi tournament, right?
That's also bad.
Well, what's the difference? I mean, why were they upset with all the golfers, but not because Trump was backing them? That's why, because Trump backed them.
Yeah.
And if Trump put his name on it, therefore it's become automatically evil. Because Saudi and Trump were behind it. Because he's the worst person that ever lived. But the World Cup and slavery and thousands and thousands of people dying and living under fucking like just slave labor conditions, that's okay.
But FIFA on its ass on its own is like fucking terrible. FIFA's honestly like the mafia.
I actually saw Sepp Blatter, the guy who was head of FIFA when this deal was done, like going on and giving out and bitching about how like, you know, oh, this thing was like paid for. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, dude, I can see your pockets. 2010, I can see his pockets still bulging with the fucking money they gave him.
So wait, 2010 is when they got the bid. 2022.
To 2022, yeah. So they got the bid in 2000. But that was Sepp Blatter was in charge of fucking FIFA
12
then.
years to kill all these
You want to
people,
see the guy? I saw the guy who did the fucking Gianni. Oh God, he was like such a fucking like it's Johnny Fortunato or some shit like that.
Oh, the president of FIFA.
The president of FIFA now, yeah, it's like a name.
The one who says he feels like a migrant worker.
Yeah.
With the construction
I was like, I watched like 5 minutes of that fucking. He looks like a Bond villain. I thought he was Jeff Bezos. He looks exactly like Jeff Bezos. It's like Johnny Fortunato or something. He's like a fucking gangster out of like a fucking is the name of a gangster out of like a Lifetime movie. You know what I mean? He was just, and he's awful. And he thought, I am a Qatari. I am gay. I am a migrant worker. I was like, no, you're none of those things. You're none of those fucking things. You're a craven scumbag.
Today I feel Arab. Today I feel African. Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel a migrant worker.
So what I really want to talk about today is billionaires.
Yeah.
Wow.
Musky.
There's Musk. There's this Bankman Friedman.
Bankman Fried. Yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name is, I don't care. He's an asshole too. And then there's Trump.
Yeah, then there's Trump. Yeah.
This has been a Billionaires Week.
Trump's back on Twitter.
Because freedom is real and running true.
I couldn't give a fuck.
Bye bye Truth Social.
But I mean, he says he's not going to go back on Twitter. He's been invited back on, but he said he's not going to go.
I don't care.
I couldn't give a shit. I'm not on Twitter, and I don't.
I'm not on Twitter either. I just was like, wow, I don't know what's real, what's not, but like this has been an absolute shit show. Have you ever seen anybody overpay for something and tank it like that? Yeah. Or is he tanking it?
Who knows?
Or is it just like
It could be a giant money laundering scheme for all we know.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like there could have been some like big loss coming up in fucking like his car company or his SpaceX fucking company, and so he needed to fucking hedge it with a big fucking loss. So like he's tanked this company so he can dump the loss into there, so he doesn't have to lose money. Who knows?
I'm gonna give you this, okay? I wanted to see how this Twitter thing rolled out, and then I was like, okay, let me see if this dude is really dumb or not. You're right. He just markets himself.
Yeah.
He's just a market. He just markets himself being a billionaire. Yeah. I realized, looking at it, I'm like, this dude is a disaster.
He's exactly like Trump.
Yeah.
They're both the same.
He's exactly like Trump, but he's trying to pull up the Tony Stark thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he's a fucking idiot.
But that other guy, fucking FTX, fucking Bankman Fried.
He's also a fucking idiot
He's a fucking idiot as well, man.
But he also just admitted, like, I mean, okay, so...
It was a scam. It was like admitted it was a scam.
It was a huge scam. I mean, he was talking about regulation, paying...
Yeah, and like...
For deregulation.
And there's like all these mad Ukrainian fucking ties with that shit as well, man, which is like...
I don't want to talk about that. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm telling you. One day somebody's going to go, oh, shit, Vinny was fucking saying this about Ukraine back in the day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Where are you going with that?
I'm just going where...
Where are you going
I'm going where it goes. I'm going where it goes.
It's fine. Go. But where?
I mean, that fucking Ukrainian thing is a fucking den, a nest of corruption. That Ukrainian government. Fucking the guy, Kolomoisky and fucking Zelensky. I'm sorry, but like, it's a fucking hive of corruption. And we'll get back to your billionaire guys in a second. But
Don't worry, I like this little
I think Zelensky's a fucking billionaire anyway. But I'm predicting like they have not backed him up on the last couple of things that he's done. Zelensky. He said that missile wasn't Ukrainian. They're like, no, hang on a minute. And like the guys who are backing him, like the US and NATO and all that shit, they were like, they pushed back on him. And up until like last week, you could not push back on Zelensky. So I think he's going to get Noriegaed.
Oh.
Or, what happens to what happens to like friends of the US when they become,
they
run out of usefulness. Yeah. They get shit canned and thrown under the bus, and I'm predicting he doesn't make fucking New Year's Day.
You think so?
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Fucking terrible for people, man.
No, it's awful.
I hate it.
It's fucking awful. We should have ended this fucking war before it fucking started.
You know what I mean? It's like I hate this for people. It's like there's these stupid personality cult things that like people. It's the same with Trump. Same with Elon Musk, and I mean it's the same with this. What's this guy's name? Joseph Bankman-Fried. What is it? Friedman Bank?
Bankman-Fried, anyway.
Fuck him, he's annoying. Whatever he is, this FTX dude. They were like, okay, obviously, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but he's a pretty well-off kid to begin with. I think his parents were like Stanford, whatever.
No question.
Which is fine. You could be like that and move up in the world. No problem with that.
I think if you go down the list, most of them
are. Yeah, I know, because this has always been the thing with the Bill Gates thing. But then my other thing about it is like, they were like, he's a fucking genius, he's a genius, he's a genius. Same with Elon Musk, he's a genius. And like, he's smart, with this whole SpaceX thing, he just really like tried to be synonymous with like Tesla. Just Nikola Tesla, a real genius.
A real genius.
A real fucking genius.
Yeah, who like died fucking penniless because he got fucking screwed by Edison.
Yeah, Edison's a fucking piece of shit anyways. But anyways. And then you have Trump, and you're looking at these people and they are really, really, like they're actually writing history. They're making decisions that are really... Yeah. Like Twitter, we talked about it, whatever we may think of it or not used or whatever, it might not be, it seems a pretty terrible place to be on the internet, whatever. People use that to communicate.
Yeah.
So blocking them or banning them or whatever isn't cool, but to have one dude on a whim buy some shit because he's a fucking grifter, not cool. That's why you shouldn't have any billionaires.
I'm 100% behind that.
You should never have any billionaires. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't see why you need billionaires. I mean, like, what purpose do they serve? You know what I mean? And like, they'll get all shitty with you about like, how you're like, you can't, you have to reward, you can't like, you can't punish people for being successful. But when you get to that billion stage, you're not successful anymore. You're engaged in criminal activity.
Yeah.
I think in order to become a billionaire, you have to engage in criminal activity.
Pretty much.
For example, like you have to like what he's done with Amazon. You have to like break all the fucking
to break people.
Well, no, you have to break all the fucking of the antitrust laws.
Yeah.
And like buy up all your competition and cheat and do all that shit to like become a monopoly, which is like the antitrust laws are in place to stop monopolies, and we just choose not to enforce them.
But it also puts somebody in
because you're buying fucking government people as well.
Exactly, but it also puts somebody in a position where they have such distance from actual people and what's going on that they lose a lot of humanity. And this becomes this becomes a joke, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Because like I know people who are close to me are like, oh, Bill Gates is so smart, blah, blah, and he didn't do anything bad. Okay. You're becoming like Trump. He's not smart. Yeah. Anybody I think like he's
low energy, very low energy.
No, but it becomes like that where you're like, wait a second, that just happened with Twitter. How about like Bill Gates with healthcare and education? This is like him playing around.
It's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. The same shit happens all the time. Yeah, but you've got like, you remember Pharma Bro, Shkreli, Martin Shkreli.
He called the other dude. Apparently they talk to each other.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like these guys they're all, it's like a whole gang of them. This whole upper echelon of fucking society are all a bunch of fucking criminal grifters.
Okay, but then you start to think about it and you're like, wait a second, like if that's happening, like, cause like Bill Gates is like a huge education fund, right? Like massive.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for what? But to what end? To what end? Oh,
no, I agree. But he has grants and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, so like, if you don't agree with Bill Gates or he doesn't find you comfortable, do you not get that money? And then do you have to like?
I've said this before as well. Like,
what happens?
These guys have so much money that what they really need is they really need somebody in the room to tell them that that's the stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard. But no one will do that because they've got so much money and power that nobody like when Mark Zuckerberg decides to ride on that fucking surfboard with the fucking American flag, right? Everybody's like, that's a great idea, Mark. You should do that. And nobody wants to say like, oh, it's like the emperor. It's like the emperor's new clothes. You know what I mean? It's like they can't tell you. That is the stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard. Don't do that. You'll look like a fucking moron, because you'll be kicked out of the room and you'll lose your access. This was the thing with Trump. They used to say this about Trump all the time as well. Nobody would tell him that was a stupid idea because they would get kicked out of the room because he wouldn't have it. Well, these guys are exactly the same because they've been so coddled for so long. Maybe not originally, but like once they get to that point where they've got so much fucking money. There's no telling them that they're
There's
wrong.
a quote you hear a lot of times from a lot of people who are very wealthy, like, why would I listen to you? You have less money than me. And that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how'd you get that money? And what does it mean? I mean, like, and it's also just this weird thing of like, why would he be good? I guess he's good at marketing Tesla and SpaceX, whatever that company is, Elon Musk. But really, like, why would that transfer into a social media company? Why would that transfer to communications? I don't know, and I don't know why people thought that. I mean, what's happened is crazy, and I'm kind of.
I mean, there's like I said, I mean, there's probably something like behind the scenes.
Yes, it has to be.
That
It
he's
has
done
to
that.
be. It has to be.
You know what I mean?
It can't be that you paid 35
40,
billion
yeah, whatever
over
the
prices.
Yeah.
You know, because they said it was valued anywhere from 9 to 11 billion, and he paid 44.
44. Yeah.
There's no way. Is he that dumb?
But I mean, the thing is, when we think of he paid it, we're thinking because we're not.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, exactly. We're thinking like he's reached in his wallet and he went like that.
No.
He didn't his fucking shite. He leveraged the whole fucking thing. He came up with a little bit of money, but then he leveraged the rest. The rest is all debt.
He also borrowed a lot of money from other rich people too.
Yeah, and it's all debt. And he's running the company on debt. It doesn't like. These people never lose.
How does he? But also, it's like he could have just took on Twitter and shut the fuck up and let anybody want it back on.
I mean, I remember saying this. I fucking said this and this was like years ago, way before Trump ever even considered running for president. Back in 2010, when I first moved here and I was in McCarthy's. I think I've told you the story before. I was in there one day and I was like, blah blah blah. I was working. I was talking, I'm from New York, blah blah blah. I was like, oh yeah. And I explained like what I used to do. I was like, oh, when I lived in New York, I sold my house in Ireland and I bought a couple of properties. Oh, what do you want to be, the next Donald Trump? I was like, yeah. Funny. He's like, well, he's a billionaire. I was like, no, he's not. He's not a billionaire. And I said this was like 12 years ago when I said this, like, he's not a billionaire. I mean, he is debt fucking riddled. It's just all debt.
But
it's
he said
all
it.
bullshit.
But
No,
he said it.
Of course he does. But I mean, and then he would go and, I mean, the thing they were upset about him doing was like he was overvaluing his properties to get loans and then undervaluing them to pay taxes.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry, but he's not the only one who does that. Every single fucking property developer in New York does that.
Yeah.
This is what they do. This is how they stay up there. But and honestly, I don't think he's the worst. I really don't think he's the worst.
Well, it doesn't matter.
The guy who owns the fucking World Trade Center, Larry Silverstein.
Oh, this is the one who took the insurance claim that you told me? And you took
Holy shit. That guy
two?
is a fucking arch criminal.
Did you say 2 claims?
He tried to claim twice for the World Trade Center. He tried to claim double because it was 2 terrorist attacks. Because it was 2 planes. And he fucking didn't get the double, but he he got like in the settlement. So he wanted so it was going to be like, 100 million, and he wanted 200 million, but in the end he got about 160 million. So he did. I mean,
never had that debate.
And these guys are they're all criminals in New York. I mean, and I know these. I mean, there was like Leona Helmsley. There was like loads of them that we always knew. There was always like these big property magnates in New York, and they owned all the big shit, but they bought it all with debt.
Yeah.
And then
it's the same with this fucking idiot. What's his Jared Kushner? Is that what his whole family does? Though?
Yeah.
Did they buy that 666? Yeah.
Park Avenue. Yeah. And now, and so this is what and I think I know that's what Elon Musk did with Twitter. He never reached into his pocket for that.
No, he borrowed a bunch of money from a bunch of other people too. But he's
going to get to write off the loss against a loss on something else. And so it just doesn't. So he'll wind up not paying any tax on anything he makes the whole time that Twitter's losing money.
I wish there was is there a board of directors that can kick this dude off of SpaceX? I wish there was, because I mean, honestly, he is a danger to that company if anybody has anything to do with it. He's an idiot. And apparently, like, a big part of his money that he makes for that company is selling off the emissions credits.
In fairness, everybody's talking about Twitter.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody is.
And I'm not even on Twitter. And I'm talking about it.
We're not even on Twitter, and we're
know,
talking about
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So I mean, his like, the one thing that he does know is keeping people talking about him.
Yeah.
And that's what. Thankfully, he's from South Africa, so he can't run for president like Trump.
But maybe he went to Trump University. That's like scam artist king.
Could have done.
Bible, whatever.
Anyway, yeah. So Anyway, so yeah.
But it's disgusting, and that whole FTX thing, whatever the fuck it is with that. What the fuck is this guy's name? I gotta say it right.
Jonathan Bankman-Fried.
Do we keep saying it wrong because it's annoying? What is it? I'm just gonna check it because I can't even do it.
It's Jonathan Bankman-Fried.
Bankman-Fried. I hate him.
Yeah, he's got a really punchable face as well.
Yeah, he does. Bankman-Fried. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Jonathan Bankman-Fried, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a stupid fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman-Fried, okay.
Whatever, Sam's a dick.
He is a dick. But again, like Martin Shkreli, like the Sackler family, like these people are just all fucking
This gets you in
criminals, man.
You know where this gets you into a deeper thing? We've talked about this before, and I know like I have some crypto, but I'm not as deep into it as I could be. A little pyramid.
I wouldn't fucking
a little pyramid kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I have.
I was like, because everyone was like, I had this conversation.
I got to tell you what, I have that 20. I have that 25. Like Suji gave me 25. He was like trying to get me. He's like, oh, Vinny, you got to get in. And he gave me 25 euros worth of fucking crypto, right? Back last year, like the week before it fucking tanked, right?
And now it's. Your Moon wallet?
Yeah, my Moon wallet. It is now worth. I had 25. It's now worth 10.28. Right, and I said I'd pay him back to 25 when it gets back to 25.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially when people are like, you gotta get in. I'm not saying that the technology behind it isn't revolutionary, because the technology is.
Yeah, I get it.
I like the idea of decentralizing the intellectual ledger.
I get it. I get a lot of it.
But this is all based, this is all controlled by Wall Street people. And
exactly. It's the same guys, it's your Sam Bankman-Frieds. I mean, he had that huge FTX fucking exchange. That was that was one of the things that you had to go through to turn your Bitcoin into cash.
Like I use Binance.
Yeah, and so,
So it's like there's where you go, and then he used that money in that Alameda.
I can't remember who I was talking to. I don't want to say the name because
say the name.
No, it's not.
It's
not that. It's not that person.
Okay.
There's so many. Like somebody's talking to the person. It's like, yeah, well, this is just, what you have in your pocket, the euros. That's just a fiat currency. I was like, okay. And so what's the other one? Well, it's a blockchain ledger. And I was like, so you're substituting one thing you don't understand for another thing you understand even less. No.
This dude didn't understand it. The Sam Bankman-Fried. I read his interview, and he didn't understand.
No.
Honestly, what he does understand is that people want to believe in ways to get themselves out of their current economic status.
I get it, but I think it's a playground for people with shitloads of money, and if you don't need that money and you put it in there, and great, you know what I mean? But I think you'd be better off putting it in the regular just putting in like a fucking like a DJI indexed average, Dow Jones Industrial indexed average fucking exchange traded fund. Now, that is also a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, but I mean, at least
there's no question. But it's like there's more people believe in that Ponzi scheme.
And that's what you have to deal with.
Yeah. So I mean, so if you leave that over 20 years, I think you'll have more than you had.
I know the thing.
I'm just.
It's just I feel so bad because it's people like you got to get in, and I'm like, that's what people say. In
it's.
No, now I'm like, fuck.
That's how pyramid schemes work. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but it's a pyramid scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. But I mean, so is the stock market.
Yes.
But this is a Ponzi scheme that's been around for a lot longer. There's a lot more. It's a lot more capital invested in it, and there's a lot less risk.
This dude was talking to the El Salvadorian president, the one who was trying to buy 1 Bitcoin a day. Dude. Yeah. This is a country with you don't talk about abject poverty, violence.
No, I know.
And I'm like, I'm not saying that digital currency can't be a part of your, your country's like,
Yeah, but
your
future. I said it to Suji when they did that. I was like, explain to me how that's going to get El Salvador out of the shitty fucking situation that it's in.
I just feel like the tech and stuff like that, I do think that there's something to that. The problem is it's based on a financial system that's already corrupt and that we're in. So how do you
And it's all the
that?
same guys.
Yeah. Well, they all went in. They all bought into it. They're fucking pieces of shit because they probably, things can be good and pure, but if you infiltrate it with that, but it's based on the system that we're already in.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy milk at the store still.
Yeah. I mean, like, and then you have to go, like you said, you have to go through an exchange to get your money out, like whether it's Binance or FTX or whatever it is. You have to go through one of those exchanges, and like those exchanges they're not regulated. There's no regulation on any of these exchanges, right? So that they can, the fees that they charge are fucking arbitrary as fuck.
And I mean, just because there's basically like robber barons, basically, these people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the tech and the other things are actually viable and like things that are interesting and that you can invest in the future, but you can't really do that when you have people who are robbing you blind before it gets off the ground. Because I mean, what are they going to do like next year? Like, people are waiting for a bump up. Crypto's at what, 15?
1028. Bitcoin's at 1028. I just checked it.
No.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
Yeah, I just checked it. I mean, whatever you got in there, fucking don't get out until you get it back. Look, it's 1028.
Oh, Jesus. No, that's what it's worth.
Oh, that's what it's worth.
Yeah. Bitcoin's at 15 grand. Don't say that to me. It went down.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
The fuck do I know? I told you he gave me 25 euros worth of shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You have $10.
Yeah.
You have $10. But if you have one Bitcoin right now, you have 15 grand.
Okay.
15.6. I mean.
Right. Great.
Terrifying. Because, like, look at this. Like, I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know.
My God.
I know people, but I know like one of the girls I used to work with in Roots and Rolls, Joanne. She's really nice, and she's lovely, and she got in really early, way back, because she's she was working in a, I don't know, she was working doing some fucking online, you know what I mean, like computery shit, and she got in Bitcoin really early and then got the fuck out and bought a boat. Now she's fucking sailing around the Mediterranean.
I know people like that too. They got in really early and it changed their life, and that's cool. Do you think those stories are more common than the other ones?
No.
Yeah.
I think the I lost a shitload of money stories are if they're not now, in the end of this thing, they will be the most prevalent stories.
I mean, a lot of people who have invested in this and have been part of this earlier on, like let's say they've been involved in this for the last 5 to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are like, it's like anything, goes through lows and ups in their life. Just wait it out. And I hear that advice a lot, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. But if you convinced your family last Thanksgiving to put all their money in because it was at 70, when's Thanksgiving this week?
When Matt Damon and fucking Larry David are advertising it at halftime on the Super Bowl, you fucking missed the boat. You have already missed the boat.
You missed the boat.
And I said that to that same guy that I said about like you're replacing one thing that you don't understand for another thing you don't understand. I was like, how do I know it's too late? Because you're telling me about it.
Because we're going to crypto arena.
Yeah, because you're telling me about it.
Because the Staples Center is a crypto arena.
Once you get there, you've missed it. My friend Joanne, she got in, got out, made her money.
I mean, and also a lot of those stories were really just like, okay, let's look at it like
well, that's part of the whole
play.
Yeah, that's the play.
Like, I mean, they were like, oh, Justin Bieber, he bought like an Afropunk NFT.
Oh god.
What is it? Crypto ape, Afro ape, whatever the fuck it is.
No.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I don't know anything anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever,
I know what
the
you're
fucking
talking
ape,
about. The ape.
The NFT thing, right?
Yeah.
He bought that for 1.3 million. Now they're saying he sold it for like, I don't know, 35,000 or something stupid like this. Something stupid and ridiculous. The numbers for sure not right.
Like,
okay.
There's one.
But he didn't buy that.
There's like Paris Hilton's tits were like fucking 6 million or some shit like that.
But he didn't buy that. His manager bought that. That's the scheme. That's what you have to realize. That those people are not actually using their fucking money. Because their bank account, their accountants never let them.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the stories of the actual regular normal people, like my friend, who I was talking about, like, I mean, they got in and got out early, and they used those people as part of the as a sales pitch. Yep. To you, look, this person got in, and
they passed the debt off.
And the people like that are still in it, that are stuck in it. Sorry,
I'm not stuck in it.
They're in it. They're like, you know. They'll swear to you, like on the day that it goes, like that it fucking drops, like you know, 30% that like, oh, this is just, you know, you got to go that way to go back that way. And it's like, yeah, okay, but.
I put in Starbucks money every week so that I was thinking that at least I wouldn't die of some, like, I don't know, diabetes or something.
Okay, because you're not drinking the Starbucks at the very least. Okay, well that's the only way. You're getting the bonus of not drinking the fucking Starbucks with all the sugar in it.
I mean, look at.
I mean, you're missing out on all that crazy pumpkin spice flavor, but you know what I mean.
I'm black. I don't do pumpkin spice.
Really, black people don't do pumpkin spice. I did not know that.
No.
I didn't know that.
And if they do, I don't want to.
You don't want to know those.
I don't want to know. No, I'm just kidding. But really, they don't. Come on. Maybe Suji, because he's from Connecticut. He's a little weird.
Yeah, they are fucking strange up there in Connecticut. Yeah. I dated a black girl from Connecticut for a while.
Did you?
Yeah.
You sure?
Absolutely, definitely.
I'm sorry. Anyways,
definitely.
I don't know.
I don't know how our pumpkin spice thing was because I think it was like pre-pumpkin spice.
Good, because pumpkin spice sounds
just disgusting. Yeah, pre-pumpkin spice. It would have been like 1986, 85.
I mean, it's so good that they market this so well that people are like, it's pumpkin spice season. And you're like, what the fuck?
Fuck off.
Yeah, like literally, fuck off. Sorry. So passionate about some dumb shit.
Anyway.
I am passionate about no billionaires though.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm at the point that I'm like, it should be really fucking illegal.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. There's no need. There's absolutely no, they serve absolutely no purpose. They do not produce anything. They do not contribute anything. I mean, they talk about like they're job creators. They aren't, they're fucking shite job creators. They don't contribute anything. All they do, like, I say you can get up to like 5 million, then it's like, then you're on 100% tax.
Oh,
or 98%. So like everything over 5 million, you're on 98%. It's not, that's how it used to be in the States.
Yeah.
And definitely in the UK and definitely in Ireland. I remember when I first moved to Ireland, like the tax rates were, you know, the top rate of tax was like 78%.
Okay. Wow.
But it was like, you know, it was graduated. It wasn't like you were, you know, it wasn't like you were
all your money.
All your money. So like, you know, you
above this amount.
So yeah, I mean, it's like you know, it's like a progressive tax. So like, you know, the first 200 you pay no tax on. The next 200 you pay 10%. After that you pay 30, and then everything over a certain amount you pay 80%.
You know the problem is too. It's like now it's like if you're a doctor in the United States, if you're a surgeon, like let's say you're a plastic surgeon or a heart surgeon, you have the right because you save people's lives. But you got to be able to buy a Ferrari, and I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's just it just shows, and it makes sense that they think like that because. You have these big pharma and everything else, and the way that they come into med school and everything.
Just wrong.
You just, you feel like that because you almost feel like I'm giving up my life.
The whole system
my
is
hands,
wrong.
You know, it's like fucking hell.
The whole system is wrong. It's not working, and I'm not like a, you know, I'm not like a communist. Yeah. No, I'm not like a I mean, like I have some ideas that are like communist adjacent. Like, but like I think that like, you know, I just don't think that we should have billionaires and like multimillionaires who are just like. They're just leeches on society. They do not contribute a fucking thing.
It's really hard because it already starts from like the certain education, what you see that the people think like, but I have the right to deserve well. Like who are you? Who are you, and what right do you have to tell me how to live? And that's the problem that you have right there.
I was talking to this guy in Pennybanger the other night, Saturday night, and he was talking. He was from the States, and he has a friend in New York, right? And he's like, this guy I was talking to was fairly well off. He's all right. He's a nice enough guy. He was a bit. They did a couple of things that were a bit douchey, but anyway. And
it's like tell. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not going to tell.
Good time, we're going to know.
But he was saying that he's got a friend in New York who's got like a full court basketball court in his apartment in Manhattan.
He's mega rich.
Yeah, I mean, who the fuck needs that?
No, but get it. But why do you? Scared me. Hola, sí.
Estoy por una mochila.
Oh God. One second. Scared the shit out of me.
I thought he said murcielago.
I thought so too. But
it's like a fucking bat. Like, was it Batman? What the fuck?
Okay, this is fun. A little jumpy, but I mean, I think I have jumped on camera so many times.
Yeah, there you go. It's all right, man. I'll play a little fucking chorus of "Jump" by the Pointer Sisters, like right there. Jump.
Take it. Yeah, I thought it was Murcielago too. I was like, no, Murcia.
Yeah.
That would have made me go mental.
Yeah, no, you would have really jumped if there was a bat. So yeah, what we're saying,
the billionaire thing.
Yeah,
okay, so this guy had a full court. Oh, sorry. Full court basketball.
Full court basketball court in his apartment.
Full basketball court, sorry.
A full basketball court in his apartment in Manhattan. I mean, come on.
Well, he can have that if he can afford it. But other people shouldn't be on the street before he gets it.
I mean, this is exactly what I said. Was like, how do you fucking like leave that apartment and then walk to work and walk past people fucking homeless on the fucking street and not feel like a complete piece of shit?
No, they sleep well.
Yeah, and they sleep well, and that's what's wrong with those people.
Because that's the thing is like if you give a certain amount of people, a small amount by the way, of people that much money, and they get to make decisions for everybody, the distance that they have from their own humanity.
From everybody else.
From their own humanity as well.
Exactly.
And the humanity that helps you deal with others and go, why am I an asshole?
And also, like, behind every great fortune lies a great crime.
Yeah, many crimes, actually.
I believe that was Mark Twain, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Many dead women, too.
Yeah. I mean...
Great dead women.
You know. I mean, like I said, like, you know, Anderson Cooper. You know what?
Just, get off of this.
Not letting him go. Not letting him go.
Get off of
He's
it.
sitting on that fucking Vanderbilt fortune, which was made by fucking crushing fucking people in the steel industry. It crushed people.
You are really fucking on this dude. You fucking hate him.
It's not just him. There's like the whole, you know, that whole sort of like, you know, that generation of like, they're all in power now.
His mom made great jeans.
Yeah, but I mean...
So even Stevens...
But you gotta be sure his mom's fucking company that was making those Gloria Vanderbilt jeans was making them with fucking sweatshop labor.
Oh, for sure.
So...
I mean, I think just now we were talking about, what was it, Tyson Chicken? We talked about the company?
Fucking, yeah.
They just figured out that some subsidiary or something of them, like, I don't know what you call it, like some other small company that worked with them, they've been employing kids in the States.
There you go.
And it's like, how much better are you than China?
Yeah. But I mean, you saw the thing that happened with the Supreme Court decision that happened last year, where they didn't, like Nestle was given the all clear because they were using slave labor in Mali.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
But it was okay because it's in Mali.
Yeah.
And it was okay for them to use slave labor because they were using it. Their argument was that we are going to our contractor and we're saying, look, we need the cheapest price for this. We have no like recourse to figure out how they're doing that.
Massive fucking mega
It's like,
monopoly.
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
So you know, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's
but that's
criminal.
on us. You know, it's on us and the
It's
people.
true. Yeah. I mean, like Nestle's chocolate, Nestle's products are shit. I never
there's
use
just-
them anyway.
Probably. I mean,
Probably. I think that's Coca-Cola.
that is just Coca-Cola is like hardcore on their own, right?
I think they might still be on their own, but I'm sure somebody's got their fucking hooks in the Procter and Gamble, maybe. Let's have a check.
No. Yeah.
Let's have a check. No, the Coca-Cola company still. Yeah.
Well, they're evil too.
Yeah, Coca-Cola and PepsiCo. Yeah. They're
PepsiCo is fucking.
Yeah. They're all fucking terrible. You know, but it's like, you know, it's like impossible to get away from them. So. You know.
I mean, because it's like you're fucking addicted to it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Win-win. Like, you know, it's like, I don't know what to say. They get you from birth.
Yeah, this is how they do it.
You go to McDonald's, you have Coca-Cola, get addicted to that. Addicted to McDonald's, you end up having diabetes.
Yeah, but I don't see why they can't
do better.
devise a system that's just a bit more equitable so that people aren't living in fucking absolute abject misery while other people are living in this just luxury world where they never ever have a want or a need for anything.
Because it's also too that you sell people who are poor a dream that if you work hard that they can get it, and then the funny thing is they'll never get it.
No,
they believe in that,
it's
and then
not gonna happen.
That's how you have these fucking stupid. I was gonna say a bad word. Stupid Trump supporters, or other people who are supporters of these, or even Democrats. They're like, just work hard.
Yeah,
Put a flag on, and you're a good
enough.
person. Do this, do that. It's like
It's
these little things you have to get to, and then that makes you either a good person or a person who's wealthy.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. That's what we're supposed to be figuring out.
Yeah,
on the
we
show.
haven't fixed it.
No,
anyway, we're gonna try and do like we're hopefully getting our shit together with our live broadcasts again. So I fixed the lights, so we'll be able to go back.
First world peace, and then we get to the live stream. Okay.
No, let's do the live stream first. I think that'll be easier.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems like not.
So we're trying to get that sorted out, and we're gonna. I think I might put a Pablo's off tomorrow, so I might do a little episode with me and Pablo for 10 minutes
a
after.
little sciencey bit.
Yeah. So anyway, you gotta go. You gotta work.
Yeah, ciao.
We're back in the science guys are back, and we decided we're going to start with this week, which is the Artemis rocket blasting off. Finally, after all those delays that we had, I mean, how long have we been waiting for the Artemis rocket?
for more than 1 month.
More than a month, yeah. We waited for the Artemis rocket to send the mannequins into space. Anyway, so that's the Artemis rocket right there. So, and here we are, the science guys. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the Artemis rocket and why exactly do they need to put the Artemis rocket? Why didn't they?
No, first of all, why is it called Artemis?
Artemis. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, we figured that out. We were having a beer. And we figured that out.
We check it in Wikipedia.
In Wikipedia, yeah. It was Artemis is the twin of Apollo, and Apollo was the first moon mission. Moon mission.
And Artemis is
the second moon mission.
The hunter goddess.
She's like the twin sister
of Apollo.
Of Apollo. Yeah. My question on the whole thing, and it always has been from the beginning, is on this particular trip, right? They're going up to the fucking moon and they're going to do an orbit, right? They're going to do an orbit of the moon, and I think they're going to orbit the moon about, I don't know, like 10 times or whatever the fuck. But they had to send mannequins to see if it was okay. Yeah,
there are many things. They will do a lot of orbits, and then it will be the longest trip of a rocket in the history, because I don't know, we're selling it to the garbage place out in space, wherever it goes.
Right.
And it was the longest or the highest rocket. They have a lot of highlights.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Fucking some shit like that.
Yeah, they have a lot of highlights for. Why did they send the dummies?
Why did they have to send the dummies? Because I mean, like we've been to fucking the moon
like 5 times.
Like 5 times. Like we know it's okay, unless did we not go to the moon and we have to send the mannequins to see what the fuck happens?
Well, people's in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah. I tell you what, I want to see because it's up there right now. It's already orbiting the moon, like right now, even as we speak, and it's fucking Wednesday, right? I want to see pictures of like the old landing site where the thing is. I mean,
all the garbage.
All the garbage. All the shit from like the old truck that they had there. You remember the car and the golf balls and shit. Yeah. They left a load of cameras there as well. I want to see all that shit, man.
It will be there.
I hope so, because otherwise,
But what they send the dummies is because the peoples in the 50s were stronger for radiation.
It could have been, yeah. I mean, maybe they were, I don't know, they just made them stronger back then.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the people now they're afraid that
the radiation will.
Well, I mean, they're afraid maybe that like doing a whole 8-day trip without like an iPhone to fucking play fucking Candy Crush on.
Yeah.
The astronauts might just go fucking mental and
fucking destroy them. Stick to the moon.
I don't know. I think it was like 4 days. I think it was like 4 days. Like I think it was less than that. I think it was like 2 days, man. I'll check, man. I'll put it up. I'll fucking type it all up. Put it up
the Wikipedia again.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's how.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's down to the fucking wanking thing. I think that's why they sent the fucking mannequins, because
maybe we're replicating the civilization again. So we'll send dummies to the war to make the war later, and then we'll send dummies to. So we were rebuilding the 60s again.
Could be.
So we need to send.
Yeah.
To make with dummies everything like.
The Beatles and stuff. We have
dummies to play the Beatles music. Okay. The dummies taking LSD for first time again.
Okay, fair enough.
So
we could do that. Yeah, it could be. I'd sign up for taking LSD for the first time again. That was fun. I enjoyed that. It was nice, man. You know what I mean?
It was 50 years ago.
Not the first time I did LSD. It was not 50 years ago.
But the first landing was in 1969.
69, yeah.
So it's almost my age. I was born in 1968.
Yeah.
So I think I'm prepared to go to the moon because I'm born in this.
Yeah, you're ready.
And
I think it'll be older people going to the moon now, because the young people just don't want to do that shit anymore. Young people don't give a shit about anything.
Well, they did it. But they did it in a movie with
Bruce Willis. The one Bruce Willis.
Yeah, and all the old astronauts went back.
That's right. That wasn't the one with Bruce Willis. That was the one with Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
That was when Morgan Freeman was president. Yeah. So if Morgan Freeman was president again, you could go to the moon. Then we'd have the young kids would get interested if Morgan Freeman was president.
But it's always late for everything. But we have the bodies. Our bodies are prepared because we're born in the 60s.
True.
But the later generation, they need the test dummy first to do it.
Yeah, I'm perplexed about the test fucking dummy guys going to the fucking planet moon, because why the fuck did they need to do that, man? I mean,
but have you seen National Geographic lately?
Not lately, no.
But they are archaeologists of the Second World War. Archaeologists of the Second World War.
Yeah, yes.
People still alive. Yeah.
They were in the Second World War. Yeah, I guess.
So if we are replicating the 70 years old,
I guess.
We lost all the knowledge of 70
It could
years?
be. It must be like that people don't think that like, you know, this new generation has to reinvent everything and do it their way, you know. And then
they're rebuilding.
all our guys that went to the moon are just like, they didn't really go to the moon. Well, I mean, you can't say that because
No.
you're a fucking conspiracy moon theorist and shit. But, you know, like, that was always my question. Was like, why aren't they just sending a guy up there? I'm sure one of the guys would be like, yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
One of the
those
ex-astronauts that now they are very.
Yeah.
They know, they have the knowledge.
Yeah,
they've been
I mean, I think the youngest astronaut probably that went to space is probably in his fucking 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't they send him? He's already been there. He knows the way. Like, he's got fucking familiar fucking local knowledge.
And he's
Hadn't
probably
been there before. You know what I mean?
working as a coach in the desert with.
Probably working at
it's
it's like in some
hippie
yoga
thing.
fucking
Yeah.
retreats shit. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Why didn't they send him out, man? You know what I mean? He could have done yoga on the moon. It could have been.
How many puppets are there? How many dummies are in the
I think it's 4.
males? There?
I'm
something
not
about female.
sure if they're males or female. I think they're 4 males, but there could be a female one in there as well. And maybe there's like a trans dummy as well.
Yeah, it should be,
Just to be modern.
each one of them.
Just to be modern, you need a trans dummy. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, the next mission should be any minority representing.
Yeah. Anyway.
It should be a black, Chinese,
Trans,
gay,
one-legged,
mixed race,
disabled, blind,
blind woman, and
with like really big tits.
Yeah,
Really big. I don't know. I mean, because
one fat and one skinny.
one fat one and one skinny one. That's true. Yeah. So
you have to send more puppets. There will be this. We didn't check. We're not very well prepared.
No, we're not very well. But it's our first science show in a
yeah.
while. I mean, you've been working and shit. And
Yeah,
I've been
no,
doing
because we should check how the dummies are. The size, the gender, the color.
On our next episode, we'll go into the fucking dummies and
And
see
the
what-
names.
what
For sure they
names.
got names because it's a
They-
NASA
they
thing. It's
have
typical
to have
NASA.
names,
Yeah,
man. They have to have names.
Yes,
Yeah.
because all the
They might be named after. Like we could do a contest to like name the dummies. If they're not named, we'll do a contest to name the
that's a good
dummies.
idea.
Yeah, name them.
And how do they look like? We didn't check that. We didn't check
We did not
anything.
check.
Sorry,
we really didn't check.
We were
It's really-
drinking and we
really
talked
well
about.
prepared. Yeah, not really well prepared.
The only question was why they sent dummies.
I made the green screen,
Yeah,
which that was
we improvised this one
Yeah.
because we know the question is why they send dummies. The only documentation we did is why is called Artemis. All the rest was
Yes.
scrap. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
science thing we do all the
Yeah,
time
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
without any
I know.
knowledge.
Yeah.
But maybe next time.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it or anything. I'm just like we could do a better job.
No, it's for
I don't
ours.
really give a shit.
Our 16 viewers will forgive us.
That's exactly it. 16 going on 17. Anyway.
So next time we will tell you the name of
The name of the dummies.
the gender of the dummies.
The racial and gender composition of the dummies, and
how long are they going to be in space?
how long they're going to be in space, and
But it's still the question why
dummies? Why not humans? Why
Yeah.
couldn't they send a couple of guys up there? I mean, the Russians sent the fucking dog, man. Why not send a dog?
send minorities as well. Saying that
Exactly.
send minorities.
You know what? They could have fucking they could have done a contract job with Qatar, and they could have sent up a couple of Qatari slaves. When like they're finished building the World Cup stadiums, send them up to fucking space.
Just to check.
See if it's open for regular people. Exactly. To send the white ones after they send the Qatari slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, they've built the World Cup and only like 10,000 of them died.
Yeah.
And now, like the few that are left, just send them up to space and see how it goes.
Three more.
Yeah, exactly. Who
Doesn't
gives
make a difference. It's
Yeah.
from say 6,000 to 3. It's just an idea. It's not. We're not promoting that.
No, absolutely not. But I'm just like
Just don't do it at home. Don't send
I know
people.
for me, when I've finished completing a really big infrastructure project and I've got a load of leftover slaves, I don't know what to do with them. So it's nice to have options for your leftover slaves when you.
But we don't
them.
recommend to do it at home. That's
No,
people,
God, no. God, no.
Don't send
No.
minorities in rockets to the
No,
moon.
no.
Don't do that,
I wouldn't.
please.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
No, just let NASA to do this shit.
Yeah, they're better at it. Yeah. I mean, So.
Or the European ESA.
European Space Agency. Yeah, I don't think they're involved in this one. I think this is a fucking.
Nah,
This is like NASA and SpaceX, which is Elon Musk again. Anyway.